In 1986, Reactor 4 at Chernobyl exploded, leaving a 2,000-degree burning graphite core spewing radioactive contaminants into the atmosphere. The official Soviet stance? A minor, contained incident. In 2013, over $1 billion vanished from Malaysia's 1MDB sovereign wealth fund, diverted into offshore shell companies to buy luxury real estate and superyachts. To the outside world, the banks managing the money marked this down as a standard authorized investment. We operate in a global system guarded by immense compliance budgets, advanced regulatory algorithms, and thousands of oversight committees. Yet cartoonishly large crimes continue to play out in broad daylight. These blind spots are not accidents. They are the outputs of a specific, replicable playbook that powerful entities use to conceal massive failures. To understand how this works, we have to look at the formula for institutional survival. It relies on a specific combination, a highly misaligned incentive paired with severe information asymmetry. During the 2012 LIBOR scandal, the London Interbank Offered Rate calculated payments for over $350 trillion in global financial instruments. But that massive system rested on a single structural flaw. Banks self-reported their borrowing costs, submitting hypothetical estimates and playing poker without ever showing cards. Relying entirely on self-reported data creates an information void. It is a deliberate blind spot that allows an institution to manipulate global realities without ever tripping a regulatory alarm. There is an assumption that when systems fail the public, it is because the institution itself is failing. The reality is the exact opposite. These institutions are succeeding perfectly at an optimization trap. They are maximizing a single self-serving metric. In 2021, leaked internal documents revealed that Facebook was acutely aware its algorithm was harming the mental health of millions of teenage users and promoting inflammatory content. Leadership buried this research because they were optimizing for one metric above all else: user engagement. Or take Goldman Sachs and the 1MDB fund. Internal compliance teams repeatedly flagged severe risks regarding the wealth of a Malaysian financier named Joe Low. Leadership pushed the bond deals through anyway to optimize for a $600 million payout in fees. The defense mechanism these corporate giants employ is known as the four-monkey strategy: see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil, and keep the money. When a single metric, like transaction fees or screen time, overrides objective reality, deception is no longer a choice. It becomes a mandatory feature of the system. This architecture of concealment extends far beyond financial greed or digital algorithms. It is routinely applied to physical bodily harm, like the U.S. Public Health Service's 1932 Tuskegee syphilis study. For decades, researchers built a wall of secrecy around their subjects. They told hundreds of Black men they were receiving free medical care for bad blood, when in reality, they were intentionally withholding the penicillin cure to study the progression of the disease. We see the same handling of truth in the Soviet response to Chernobyl. State officials possessed concrete intelligence about the magnitude of the radiation, yet they knowingly delayed the evacuation of Pripyat to protect the government's image. The common thread tying a financial cartel to a medical atrocity is isolation. The architecture relies on isolating victims from the truth, whether through physical delays in a radioactive city, secret algorithmic VIP whitelists at Facebook, or private chat rooms used by LIBOR traders to rig daily rates. In every instance, the institution recalculates human lives. They become acceptable collateral damage required to preserve the structural integrity of the system. When these operations are eventually exposed, the institution's public relations team will immediately deploy their final defense. They will blame a rogue actor, characterize it as an isolated glitch, or call it a minor misunderstanding. The evidence proves otherwise. Tim Leissner was not a lone mastermind acting without Goldman's vast infrastructure. Facebook's algorithm was intentionally designed to prioritize polarizing content. And rigging the LIBOR rate required the active, daily collusion of an entire global banking cartel. The real-world ripple effects of these systemic lives are immense. A rigged interest rate altering millions of student loans, a hidden algorithm accelerating ethnic violence, and billions of dollars stolen to stall a developing economy and buy local elections. These catastrophes are never accidents. They are the successful execution of an institutional cartel operating exactly as designed. The terrifying commonality among all these events is how they came to light. We only know about the Tuskegee experiment, the 1MDB theft, and the LIBOR cartel because of sheer accidents, rare whistleblowers, or radioactive clouds that simply drifted too far to contain. If exposing these empires of secrecy requires a miracle, the architecture of concealment is highly effective. It is undoubtedly operating perfectly somewhere right now. The question is no longer if this is happening. The question is whose optimized, self-reported, and completely unverified data is secretly governing your life today.